All righty, we'll get started. Very nice. So look down at your toes and look at that imaginary line. One foot is not further in front of the other foot. Beautiful. Lift the toes, press those heels down, really strongly engage the quads here. Let the toes gently press back down to the floor, but keep drawing through the heels. And then notice your default. Leaning forward, leaning back, and then you just start to rock a little bit forward and back here. And you are looking for, where is my neutral, right? So those of you that have been here for many, many, many times, it should be easier for you to start to find that neutral a little bit quicker. Good. Let the belly pull in, low belly pulls in, lift all the way up from the front of the spine. The shoulders pull back and down, elbows in, and then chin drops very slightly. Let the eyes close. And we'll begin with our 3 sighs. So 3 times breathing in through the nose, open the mouth, sigh through the mouth. After you take those 3 sighs, let the breath come in and out through the nose. And in this beginning part of our practice today, I want you to see if you can deepen the breath. So you're going to deepen both the inhalation and the exhalation. And pay attention to where the inhalation is flowing. Okay, for most of us, it's going to be in the front portion of our body, our belly, our chest. See if you can start to widen the breath out so that when you're inhaling, the breath comes into the side body, the side waist, the side chest. And you'll notice that as the breath starts to spread a little more horizontally, that you will start to also feel some breath in the back body. And also when you're exhaling, just kind of feeling those outer ribs squeezing in back towards the midline, letting all that air draw out. And for those of us who really are not used to breathing like this, which I would assume would be the majority of all of us, you might find that the breath does not rise quite as high up into the chest area as it normally does when you're breathing in the front body. And so just know that's normal, that's okay. You're teaching your breath to spread horizontally. We worked on Viloma II a lot, or sorry, Viloma I a lot. And part of that Viloma I is helping you breathe into different parts of the rib cage that don't always receive breath. And so now that's just putting that into practice. And then if you'd like to set an intention, you want to let go of something, if you want to bring something in before we get moving here, then you can do that at this time. It can be for class, for the day, for the week, the month, whatever it might be. Awesome. And then when you're ready, you will slowly let those eyes flutter back open. So even though we're going to be moving around, try to keep some of that focus on breathing into the side body, the side ribs here. Okay. And we're just going to start with a little bit of neck stretches. All right. So as you exhale, you're dropping your chin down. As you inhale, you're lifting the chin up. And just like you're nodding yes and no. The movement can be pretty slow because ideally your breath is also pretty slow, pretty deep. Good, beautiful. All right. So the next time that your chin comes back to neutral, just keep it there. Take your time. Awesome. So this next part that we're going to do, it's important that your shoulders stay back and down. So go ahead and roll the shoulders back and down. Keep focus on them staying dropped. And then chest is going to lift up. And you're just going to draw your chin towards one shoulder. And you bring it back to center. And you draw it to the other side. And again, really focusing on slow movements, slow breath. You can inhale as you draw to the side and exhale as you come back to center. So the next time you go back to the side you started on, for me, that was my left side, you're going to stay there. And I want you to focus on the opposite shoulder. So if you can, bend your elbow, put your fingertips on top of that opposite shoulder. So if my chin is to the left, I'm working on my right shoulder. And I'm going to pull my elbow in towards my body, like down towards the floor and in towards my body. Good. Now start to just draw your chin up towards the ceiling. Think of your ear going towards the shoulder and then drawing your chin down towards the shoulder. Right. So just kind of moving side to side here on that one side. My chin goes to my left shoulder and then I lift my chin and my ear goes to my left shoulder. Just moving back and forth. Good. And then release the fingertips off of the shoulder, bring yourself back to center. Good. Roll those shoulders back and then go to the other side. So you're just staying here to begin with. Go ahead and take your fingertips, place them on top of the shoulder, pull that elbow down towards the floor, in towards your body. Just kind of let the body adjust for a moment. Good. And then you're going to start to do that little rotation. So I'm going to draw my chin kind of up towards the ceiling and my ears dropping to the shoulder. And then I'm going to bring my chin back to the shoulder. It doesn't have to be fast. In fact, it's usually a little better if it's slow. Let's do one more. And then after that one more, you're going to release those fingertips and bring yourself all the way back to center. Good. All right. Roll the shoulders out. We're just kind of loosening up those joints from the top down. Good. I'm not picky about this today. If you want to do one shoulder at a time, you can. If you want to do both shoulders together, you can. Totally up to you, whichever one feels better for you. Do a little bit of both. Yes, good. Awesome. All righty, reach the arms out, turn the palms up, reach to the fingertips a lot. Okay, so you should start to feel some stretch happening kind of at the elbows, maybe a little bit in the biceps. But really, 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 really reach. Breathe, breathe sideways, laterally, horizontally, however your brain hears it the best way. Beautiful. Bend the elbows, place the fingertips back on those shoulders, and take some shoulder elbow circles. Good. So if you want more stretch, your range of motion is bigger. You're pulling those elbows back and around. Maybe the elbows touch in the front. If you want less stretch, right? Make your shoulder circles and your elbow circles just a little bit smaller. Good. Let's do one more. And very nice. A release. Clasp your hands. Take the alternate clasp so that the other pointer finger's on top. Good. Yeah. And then you're going to make your sideways infinity sign. Sideways figure eight. Good. Reverse it. Go the other direction. That one actually works your mind. I mean, it works your wrist too, but that definitely works your mind. Just recently taught my son, my 5-year-old, release that and just shake it out. The hand clasp and putting the other finger on top, and that totally messed his brain up. He was like, I can't do it. I'm like, you can just do it. It's gonna feel, if it feels right, it's wrong. It's gonna feel weird. All right. But it's good. It's good for your brain to do those things. All right, cat cows. So I'm just kind of working down the joints all the way down the body, right? So exhaling, let the tailbone come forward, round, low back, middle back, upper back, head drops. When you inhale, you reverse that. The tailbone lifts, and the low back arches, and the middle back, and the upper back. And maybe the head lifts too. Next time you come into that exhalation, you're going to stay in that rounded back, that rounded exhale. But I want you to keep breathing. Don't hold your breath. But the back is just intentionally very rounded. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears a little bit here, but you're pulling your belly in, tailbone is forward, head is down. And then just kind of draw your right ear towards the right shoulder. And try to take some deep inhalations. So when your torso is flexed like this and you take a deep inhalation, it actually makes the breath, it forces the breath into the back body where you can stretch a little bit deeper. just by using your breath. Good. And then bring the head over to the left shoulder. You're going to do the same thing on this side. Head is heavy, body is flexed, back is rounded. Just taking those deep breaths into the back body. Good. Bring yourself back to center and then come into that cow pose one more time. That's the inhalation where you arch the back and the head lifts up. Very nice. And then bring yourself back to center. So clasp your hands. You can do any clasp that you want. Okay, grab behind your head. Beautiful. So elbows are going to come in. There you go. As you inhale, you're just going to pull the elbows out. And then as you exhale, you're going to close it off. Okay, so again, if you don't want to really stretch this area a lot, you don't bring the elbows out a lot, right? Like you might even look like this, and that's okay, right? The more you bring those elbows back, the more stretch you're going to feel in the front of the shoulder, the chest. Awesome. I'm going to do one more. Good. Okay, good. And then release down. Move right into those barrel rolls. Big circles with the waist. And reverse the circles, go the other direction. That does always feel good. All right, now bring yourself center and we're going to do torso circles, which are different from barrel rolls. So in barrel rolls, you're trying to make your circles from this area. Now I just want your whole torso to make a big circle. Yeah, good. And reverse it, go the other direction, of course. And back to center. Love it. All righty, so right foot is going to come out in front of you. You're going to point your toes. You're going to just draw it out to the right side as far as you comfortably can. And then you're going to bring it across to the left as far as you comfortably can. So just going up and over, right? Like you're making a rainbow, right? If it feels hard, right, make your rainbow smaller. It can be right here. That's fine. So getting a little bit into the hips here, hip flexors. And we're going to do inner thigh here in just a minute. Good. All right, bring it in front of you. Roll to the pinky toe side. Okay, so the inside edge of your foot is pointing up towards the ceiling here. And you're just going to lift it up and down. And we won't do this super long because it's pretty Pretty strengthening, pretty intense. Do two more if you can. Very nice. Release that. Come right into a pigeon pose on this side. Love it. Love it, love it. All right, so flex the foot and time it. We're just here in this pigeon pose, 30 seconds. Okay, if you want to lean forward, you can, but we'll do another pigeon pose before we relax too, so you'll have more time. And 15 seconds through. And release that down. All right, we're just going to do the same thing on the other side. Okay, so starting with those toe taps, you're just going to straighten your left leg, bring it over to the side, and then tap it over and tap it over. Okay. Have your hands on your hips, put your hands on your legs. If you want a little help, you can help yourself, putting your hand under your thigh, giving yourself a little boost. Good, awesome. And I'm doing one more. Good. Bring it back to center. Roll to the pinky toe side, so the inner edge of the foot's pointing towards the ceiling, and then you just lift and you lower. Like I said, we're not doing a ton of these, but it does warm up that outer hip area and the inner thigh. If you can do two more, do two more. And bring yourself right into pigeon pose now on this side. Beautiful. And 30 seconds. It's going to fly by. Good. 15 seconds. Lovely. All right. To release that, come up to stand. We'll do some sun salutations. Grab something to drink. I was so tired this morning. I forgot to get my coffee off the coffee maker, so I'm drinking coffee. Mm. Out of the past 5 weeks, my husband has been traveling for 4 of the past 5 weeks. So those little kids are exhausting. Tell you what. All righty, let's get our sun salutations in. So look down, imaginary line. One foot's not further in front of the other. Press the heels down, lift the toes, engage the quads just like we do when we're doing our seated mountain pose. This is standing mountain pose. Right, tailbone drops, low belly pulls in, zip up through the front of the spine, shoulders are back, and chin is level with the floor. Good. Keep your legs strong. Keep your feet strong, like you're pressing down. Inhale, reach the arms. Exhale, forward fold. Don't let the toes grip. Good. Bend that right knee, twist to the left. Wonderful. Switch sides. Bend the left knee, twist to the right. Good. Bring it back to center. Walk it back. Downward facing dog, Adho Mukha. Right. Same thing here. Try not to grip with the toes. Lift the toes up. Press the heels down. Even in your down dog, press the heels down. Let that tailbone lift up. And bring the right leg forward. Warrior one. If even in this warrior one, can you deepen the inhalation a little bit? Can you really press down through the feet? Great. Go ahead and take those hands down. Bring it back, downward facing dog again. In down dog, lift the toes, press the heels down, engage the quads, engage the legs. Lift that tailbone. Good. Other side. Warrior one, left leg forward. Try to let that breath get a little deeper, a little slower. Good. Take the hands down. Come into your forward fold. If you want to take a chair pose, go ahead and lift those toes, press the heels down, shift the hips back, drop the hips, and the arms reach forward. And think of pulling in through that low belly, nice and strong. Front ribs pull in as well. And then everybody inhale. Beautiful. Rise and shine. Bring it up. Exhale, take it to the heart. Good. Pretend like you've got something in between your inner thighs and you're squeezing it. Maybe it's a block or a book, right? Pretend it's there and you don't want to let it fall. So the legs squeeze in, the buttocks squeeze in, heels press down, super strong. Inhale, reach the arms. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Good. Good, good. I saw that. Good. Bend the right knee, lift the left arm, twist. And switch sides. Bend the left knee, lift the right arm, twist. Good. Bring it back to center. Walk it back, down dog, Adho Mukha. Right? So same thing that we did a moment ago standing. You've got something in between the thighs, in between the legs. You don't want to drop it. Squeeze it in. Press the heels down. You'll feel the quads engage. Let the toes lift. Reach the tailbone back. Pretty sure you guys were all in class. I've said it a couple classes now. Pretend I'm behind you with a belt or a rope and I'm just pulling back your pelvis and pulling your hips back. Good. Right foot comes forward, warrior one. If you want to extend it, bring that left foot back a little. The left foot goes back some. Maybe you bend a little deeper into the right knee. Let the hips drop a little further. Awesome. Open it up, warrior two pose. Right, so remember now your chest, your hips are to the side. Good. You can look over your right middle finger. It's your drishti. Beautiful. Now you can stay just like this. If you want to add a little bit of balance, turn the palms up. As you inhale, you're going to straighten your right leg, reach the arms above the head. As you exhale, come back to your warrior two, palms down. Okay, so you can try that a couple times. I'll give you time. You want to try. Inhale, arms lift, right leg straightens, and you exhale, you just come back to that warrior two. And it's tricky. That's why I said it's a balance, even though our feet are down. It can be very tricky on balance. All right, so I'll give you time to do maybe one more if you're practicing it. Good. Cartwheel the hands down. So right hand comes to the chair, left arm comes up and over, and then bring yourself back into that downward facing dog. Strong legs. And then left leg's coming forward, warrior one pose. Right, again, you have that option of bringing that right foot back a little bit further if you want, making it deeper, and bending into the left knee a little bit more, letting the hips drop. Good. Open it up, warrior two pose. Good. Yes. Beautiful. So hips, chest, the long edge of the mat, arms out to the side. You can look over that left middle finger. And again, you can stay here if you want that added challenge. Turn the palms up. When you inhale, straighten your left leg, reach the arms up. When you exhale, palms down, come back to warrior two. Not something you fly in and out of very quickly. Slow it down. Nice, because the slower you go, you can start to really feel like all the muscles, all the fast twitch muscles, those smaller muscles, how they work to keep you stable, to keep you grounded as you move. Good. So I'll give you time to do one more here if you want to. Lovely. I love it. You guys look awesome. Great. All right. Cartwheel the hands down, left hand down, right arm reaches around. Come into your forward fold. Good. If you want to take a chair pose, it'll be the last chair opportunity. You can take that now. Just make sure your weight's in your heels, not in the toes. Good. Everybody inhale, rise and shine. And exhale, take it to the heart. Lovely. All right. I'm going to have you sit down because I want to do one more pigeon pose where we hold it a little bit longer. And then we will lie down and relax and work on that Viloma II. Touched on it just a little last week. So let's start pigeon pose with our right ankle crossing over the left knee. And we're going to hold this for a minute. It'll be a minute on each side. Okay. So you did get a little bit warmer. We did a little bit of hip stuff. If you want to lean forward, you can. If you want to stay upright, you can do that too, right? Whatever's best for you. You do want to slow the breath down, right? We know we're going to go into our relaxation right after this. So you can use this opportunity where we're not moving to slow down the breath, slow down the exhale, let the heart rate decrease. Beautiful. Bring yourself back up and then we'll switch sides. So stretching that left hip now. Left that foot and 1 minute. And even if you're whether, I guess I should say whether you are sitting upright or leaning forward, can you get that breath to move into the side ribs, into the side of the chest? And especially if you're leaning forward, you will find that that's going to move it into the back of the body as well. At 10 more seconds. And release. Beautiful. All righty. So go get comfortable wherever that might be, whatever that might look like for you. Once you are comfortable, please let your eyes close. Go ahead and try to make your final adjustment at this time. And remind yourself, give yourself the permission to be here and to let everything else go. And we know that typically, once our body becomes still, our mind becomes active. And whatever is in the mind space right now, give it the permission to release. And if it's important, it will still be there when we return. If you'd like to take any sighs, if that feels something that would help you relax, now would be the time to do that. And whether you're taking sighs or simply taking deep, slow breaths, focus in on the feeling that occurs when you breathe out. And you notice this, right? This heaviness, this dropping down. And with that comes beautiful release. And keep your attention on that feeling on the exhalation, but also now include attention on the inhalation and attention on that lateral expansion for the inhalation, right? Expanding the breath into the side of the body, the back of the body, and opening that space up. And deepen it. Let the breath get deep. Start to lengthen the duration of your breathing. So there's all these different parts that you're becoming aware of simultaneously. The exhale, the heaviness and letting go. The inhale and this expansion laterally, the breath, the mind settling, the body settling, letting the breath get longer. And so your conscious awareness is expanding. To add to that, start to pay attention to those little pauses that happen at the top of the inhale and at the very bottom of the exhale. Pay attention to those pauses and just kind of let yourself linger in them as long as it feels good and comfortable. So, moving towards that Viloma II breath, we practiced it a little last week. We touched on it, and we also did a series on it a little over a year ago, I believe. So I say that because if you're pretty new to it and it wasn't effortless last week, then you are going to stay with kind of cutting your breath in half. So you want your exhale to be an even number. You want to try to move to doing it in thirds on the exhalation. Then you're going to make your breath divisible by 3. So if you are exhaling for 6 counts and you're trying to divide it in half, you take that inhalation, you pause, you exhale the top half of the air from collarbones to the sternum for a count of 3, you pause. And then you exhale the second half for a count of 3, you pause. When you feel like you're about to need to breathe in again, I want you to pull that belly button in, get all that residual air out, relax the belly completely, and let that vacuum effect give your body a very deep inhalation. And then you repeat. If you are divisible by 3, cutting it in thirds, and for example, you're breathing out for a count of 6. And when you start to exhale, it'll still be from the top, it'll be the top third. You'll exhale for a count of 2 and you'll pause. And you'll do the middle third and you'll exhale for a count of 2 and you'll pause. And you'll do the bottom third. You'll exhale for a count of 2 and pause. And then you'll pull that belly button in when you feel like you're almost ready to take a breath in. Get all that air out. Then relax the abdomen completely. Vacuum of air comes in. Big inhalation. And you pause. And your number can be whatever it is. Now, say you're cutting your breath in thirds and it's hard for you to get from 6 to 9 counts because you're wanting to make your breath a little longer. If it's easier for you to not count and just doing it evenly in thirds, that's okay too. But the point of this breath is that you're putting those specific intentional pauses in the exhalations. And when you're breathing in and you're taking that vacuum of air that comes in when you relax the abdomen, Try to get it into the side body and the back body. That's why I focused on that a lot in our class today, because I wanted you to start to work on opening that space so that when we came to do the breath work, that space was already a little bit more open. And because we all breathe different lengths, different paces, these kind of techniques, I'm a little more quiet. I let you practice your pace. But just remember that the key is intentional pauses on the exhale, pulling the belly in. You feel like you almost need to take a breath in, and then letting the abdomen relax, bringing that air in. Big full inhalation, big full inhale, pausing, and then going into those intentional pauses in the exhale. And you'll find that either Viloma 1, which we practiced for about 6 weeks, the inhalation, the stepped inhale, either Viloma 1 or Viloma 2 is easier for you. And so that's just something to notice. And if you were to practice one when you're not in class, I would practice the one that's more challenging for you. So we've reached the time in our class where you have the option of continuing to practice or continuing to rest or coming back. And just remember, I'll turn off the meeting for us. But when you do choose to come back, you let go of the Viloma, like that stepped breath. You take a couple of breaths that are just normal, smooth inhales and exhales without any control. Don't worry about controlling. And then, you'll move your body in ways that feel comfortable. Your fingers and toes might wiggle around or might roll your wrist or ankle, might roll to your side, whatever it might be that feels good. And you do this when you're ready to. I am so grateful to have this opportunity to and be here in this virtual space with each and every one of you. You fill my cup. I hope I help to add some to your cup as well. Much love, peaceful thoughts, peaceful words, peaceful intentions. Namaste. Have a wonderful day.